I've sent Mr. and Mrs. Hawkins away to the seaside for a 48-hour paddle. They won't be back till Sunday night, so you see, the house is empty. Cheers. Well, what do you say?
It sounds distinctly criminal.
Oh, of course it's criminal. All good money-making schemes in England have to be these days. Now, the jewelry, when it's not in the bank, lives in an ingeniously hidden safe somewhere here in the study. Where, for instance, would you look for it? Good likeness, would you say? Of course, it's 18 years ago.
I don't think you'd hide your safe behind it. I've seen that in too many movies.
Good thinking. All right, then where? Are you up to finding it? There are certain skills best acquired in public bars, I suppose. But whatever made you think?
You and your games. That is the only game in this room.
Very clever. Anyway, the jewels are in there. All you have to do is steal them, sell them abroad, and live happily ever after with Marguerite. All I have to do is claim the insurance and live happily ever after with Thea.
Is that what you asked me over to hear? A grotty little plot to defraud the insurance company?
I'm sorry you find the plot grotty. Personally, I thought it was all rather nicely clear and simple.
Look, supposing I do as you say and Nick steal the jewels. If I sell them under my own name, I'll get picked up the moment you report the loss. If I sell them to a fence, always presuming I could find one, he'd carve me up. I'd get a fraction of their value.
Not with the fences I know.
What fences would you know?
The finest in Europe. Prudent, yet prodigal. I first met them when I was researching for the deadly affair of the Druce diamond. Surely you've read it. Pity. It's an absolute corker. In any case, on your behalf, I have already contacted a certain gentleman in Amsterdam. He'll treat you very well. You won't get the full amount for the jewels, of course, but you'll get about 2/3, say 170,000 pounds. You'll get it in cash.
170,000 quid?
Cash.
Why should this fellow pay so much?
Because he will get what no fence ever gets. Title to the jewels. You see, in addition to stealing the jewels, you have also to take the receipts I got for them. Now, what does my insurance company discover as it swings ponderously into action, antennae pulsing with suspicion? It discovers that someone impersonating Andrew Wyke sold the jewels for £170,000 cash, but they still have to pay me hard cheese. Think it over. Take your time.
Look, I know this sounds stupid, but have you had any experience? Have you ever actually committed a crime before?
St. John Lord Merridew would have a pretty lean time of it if I didn't think up any crimes for him to solve.
St. John Lord who?
You're joking.
What about?
Who is St. John Lord Merridew? Why, even Marguerite, when I first met her, knew and adored him. He's my detective, known to millions throughout the civilized world, with a nose for smelling out evil superior to anything in the force.
Oh, yes. The police are always stupid in the kind of books you write, aren't they? They never solve anything. It's always the amateur sleuth who knows what's going on. But that's detective fiction. This is fact. This is real.
I'm well aware of the difference, my dear Milo, but I'm also aware of my own not inconsiderable capabilities. Of course, if you doubt them or don't trust me.
I'm not sure that I do. That's why it's a very difficult decision to make.
Not at all difficult, perfectly simple. You have an expensive woman and no money.
Yeah, but why don't you steal the bloody jewels and simply hand them over to me?
I should have thought that was obvious. The burglary has to look real. This house has actually to be broken into.
Then why don't you break into it?
It's a question of agility, for one thing, dear boy. My little baby, do me a favor, let me handle this. Know what I mean? Crime is my bag. I got this caper all worked out to the last detail.
£170,000.
Cash. Tax free. Take an awful lot of Tintalini's tonsorial teasing to raise that kind of money.
All right, I'll do it. Where do you want me to break in?
No, not so fast. You've got to get disguised first.
What for?
Well, suppose somebody saw you climbing in.
Here? In the middle of nowhere? I could hardly find this place with a bloody map.
You never know. Dallying couple? A passing sheep rapist? Besides, dear boy, don't forget the clues we've got to leave for the police and the insurance company. We don't want your footsteps in the flower beds. Or your coat button snagged on the windowsill. No, no, no! You must be disguised.
All right. How?
Please to follow me, number one son. You know, my dear Milo, in the good old days, before television, that is, people constructed the pleasures of life for themselves. They amused each other and were in turn amused. They just sit, stare. Why, in this house, there was scarcely a weekend without its treasure hunts, charades, games of infinite variety. Make-up and dress-up, there was virtually no end to the concealment of identity. But surely Marguerite has told you.
Actually, she never mentioned it.
It was all some time ago. A few scenes from some of my books, lovingly recreated by an artist friend. The necrophilic barber of Tunbridge Wells, and the doltish pie poisoner from the Simple Simon murders. Oh, here's my favorite. Now, this really is ingenious. Do look.
Andrew,
Now,
we were looking for a disguise.
quite so, dear boy, so we were. Here we are. The old dressing up basket, our old treasure chest of make-believe. Let's see what we've got. This should suit. Item: 1 black face mask, 1 black flat cap, a striped jersey, and a bag marked swag.
Why not a neon sign with burglar on it?
You may have a point. One of my favorites, the ecclesiastical housebreaker, Brother Lightfingers. Perhaps we shall never know the identity of the cowled figure seen haunting the grounds of the old manor house on the night of the terrible murder. If a living identity it had, there are those to this day who claim to hear the agonized screams of the victim echoing through the chimney pot.
For Christ's sake, Andrew, stop mucking about. Haven't you just got an old pair of sneakers, a raincoat, and a sock I can pull over my head?
Old pair of sneakers and a sock? Milo, where's your sense of style? We must give our crime the true sparkle of the 30s, a little amateur aristocratic quirkiness. Don't you feel the need to give your old arch enemy, Inspector Plodder of the Yard, a run for his money? Oh, Monsieur Beaucaire, Milo, this is you. A full-bottomed wig, lots of beauty spots, and all the snuff you could want.
Oh, groovy. Look, I might even do the whole thing in drag.
Kiss me, you fool. I can fight it no longer, darling. If you must go, don't look back. Andrew.
Jesus Christ, who's that?
So that's where you've been, Auntie Maud. Naughty girl. Shall we decide on the dress then?
No, I don't like it.
Oh, well, you are a choosy one, aren't you? There doesn't seem to be a very great deal left. We'll just have to settle for Joey.
Joey. Now you're talking. A clown.
Can't you see it all? The sawdust ring, the tinsel, the glitter, the lights.
The elephants, the high wire, the roar of the crowd.
Merry Milo, tingle the kiddies' delight.
Oh, this is all right.
Off with your jacket. That's right, your shirt and your trousers.
What for?
Oh, we don't want the police to find any fibers from this beautiful cloth. You've no idea how clever they are in those laboratories of theirs. We won't take any risks, you and I. That's right. Down to your smalls, don't be shy. Oh, I know a well-brought-up boy when I see one. Folds his trousers at night, eh?
170,000 pounds. Tax free in the cash. Echo Milo.
Echo le Buto.
Snapshoes! Do you know, I've always wanted a pair of these.
Yes.
Ever since my father took me to the Palladium when I was a kid. I might have got on in show business, you know. You never know. A lot of my friends did. They got to the top, you know how? They danced their way. You know, I guess that Vaudeville's loss was hairdressing's gain.
Talking of gain, are we ready?
Yes!
Ladies and